Okay, well, we are joined in studio today by Lisa Murphy, the singing cowgirl, and she drove her awesome truck here up to the studio, and we're going to hear a couple songs from the singing cowgirl.
You fill up my senses like a night in a forest, like the mountains in springtime, like a walk in the rain, like a storm in the deserts, like a sleepy blue ocean. You fill up my senses, come fill me again. Come, let me love you, let me give my life to you, let me drown in your laughter, let me die in your arms, let me lay down beside you, let me always be with you. Come, let me love you, come love me again. Let me give my life to you. Come, let me love you, come love me again. You fill up my senses like a night in a forest, like the mountains in springtime, like a walk in the rain, like a storm in the deserts, like a sleepy blue ocean. You fill up my senses, come fill me again.
Excellent.
That was great.
I got to tell you guys a little bit about that song. John Denver wrote that on a ski lift going up Aspen Mountain. And it took him 15 minutes to write it. And he said he couldn't wait to get down to the bottom of the hill because he wanted to write down the lyrics.
Sure.
So he didn't forget them. And I said, that would be really common for me, too. I'd get them all figured out, and then I'd get to the bottom of the hill. I go, shoot.
Yeah.
Where'd they go?
That's awesome. Man, so Lisa Murphy, the singing cowgirl. This is pretty cool. I enjoyed that. That was very nice. I liked it. So you've got another song for us.
Yeah. I know Dustin was telling me he likes Burl Ives. And, at Dustin's age, I didn't think he'd know who Burl Ives was.
Yeah.
And so I got myself on the internet and had to look up to see what Burl Ives actually sang because I didn't even know it myself. But then I figured out that Burl Ives does a song that I do at my shows on a regular basis called Beautiful Brown Eyes. And I love the song because I have brown eyes and I am also full of chocolate. So, so it kind of goes like this. Beautiful, beautiful brown eyes. Beautiful, beautiful brown to get married, but rambling has kept us apart. Beautiful, beautiful brown eyes. Beautiful, beautiful brown eyes. Beautiful, beautiful brown eyes. I'll never love blue eyes again. Now, you guys, this is my favorite verse, okay? And you'll know why in just a minute, all right? For 7 long years I've been married, not really, but I wish I was single again. A girl never knows of her troubles until she marries a man. Sorry, guys. Beautiful, beautiful brown eyes. Beautiful, beautiful brown eyes. Beautiful, beautiful brown eyes. I'll never love blue eyes again.
Ah, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks for doing that.
That made Dusty's
I tried
year.
not to insult you guys.
No, that was great. So I think I want to get into this a little bit before we do one more song. I want to talk about this a little bit.
Okay.
Do you want to sit down, or you want to? You're welcome to stand back up.
Okay.
I want you to be comfortable.
I'm very comfortable here.
Tons.
No, you don't need to. I don't need to wear any headphones. I can hear you just fine.
All right, good. So we got to get into this a little bit. So how did this start for you?
Well,
are you a Mankato native?
I am a Mankato native. In fact, I went to the school. I'm a Maverick. So.
And so I know this is a cardinal sin here, I think, but can I ask how old you are?
I am 55.
Wow. You really don't look 55, honestly.
You know, a lot of people tell me that. And I did a thing on Facebook the other day to see how old I actually looked, and you know what came up?
Huh.
Came up 21. Of course, all my friends were making big remarks about that, as you can imagine. And I said, be nice now, boys.
That's awesome.
But I have been
Wow.
told that I look like I'm about 35.
Yeah, you definitely don't look your age.
No, I don't act it either, by the way.
So, Mankato native, how did this start? How did this begin?
Well, I'll tell you what. When I was about 10 years old, I decided that if John Denver could play guitar, then so could I. So I got this really old, really crappy guitar. And the strings were about, I swear, half an inch off the neck. And my fingers literally bled when I played it. But nobody told me to practice, because I said, if he's going to play, so am I. And I'm play by ear, so I've never had any lessons. And so I've just picked the keys out in my head, and then I just kind of do it. And ever since then, I started playing in shows when I was about 13, in talent shows, and it just progressed from there. And about 2 years ago, I took it to the full-time basis. So last year I did 500 shows.
So you're honestly telling me now, at 10 years old, John Denver touched you so severely.
Right. He actually touched me when I was about 5, but I was probably too young to really think about picking up a guitar.
Can we talk about that?
Sure.
Seriously. So you listened to John Denver and
constantly.
You just that was it.
That was it. Yeah.
Wow. So I mean, I guess it makes perfect sense at that young of an age.
Yeah, he was very influential in my life. My dad was an alcoholic, so
okay.
I kind of was looking for something that was safe.
Sure.
And something that I could, show a lot of appreciation for.
Yeah.
And John Denver did it for me. In fact, my mom bought me the album Rocky Mountain High. Mm-hmm. I wore it out in 2 weeks. She had to go buy me a new one. I played it so much that it wore out.
Wow. So this totally makes sense. So first I'll say thanks very much for being open and sharing that. That's
not a problem.
That's kind of a big deal.
No, I love sharing my story with people.
And I'm gonna be completely honest with you. That share makes it different. It makes it more real and understandable and able to connect with. Because otherwise, you have to even think about this in some manner where people might just be like, well, what is this lady that she loves John Denver? That's just kind of weird and whatever.
Yeah, when I tell them the real story, then they go, wow. And that I'm a tribute artist to Minnesota here too.
Yeah, it makes total sense. That really solidifies it. That's
and when I
awesome.
told the family that, when I told Annie and her dad that, they both said they were so proud, and that John would have been so proud because I actually was at his funerals in '97 too.
Yeah, so get into that a little bit. So it was his music touched you so severely that you pursued, basically, it sounds like, a relationship with the man, to some degree.
Yeah, actually with his father-in-law, who had the Holiday House in St. Peter.
Sure.
It was a private dinner club. That was Annie's dad who had that. And for some reason, I found out that he was doing that. And I got a membership out there because you had to have a membership. And I was going out there and just enjoying it. I loved it. I mean, they had great food. The atmosphere was great. Got my mom and dad a membership after I got my own, believe it or not. 13-year-old kid going out and get a membership to a fancy dinner club. Now, that's a little weird, isn't it?
Yeah, I was just going to ask, what age was this?
My mom had to give me a ride over there. That was fun.
But then she couldn't come in.
Yeah,
she
so
had
I
to wait
just
in the
figured,
car.
if she's got to bring me over here, I mean, they've got to have a card to get in too, And anyway, my dad loved it anyway. He loved, they had lobster and, the steaks that he loved out there. So he loved going out there as well. But
so how you met John at some point?
I did, twice.
So how did that happen?
Well, Annie's dad just said to me, he knew how crazy I was about the guy, and he said, you know what, Lisa, I'm going to set it up so that you can meet him. Of course, I just about went nuts. I'm like, first time I met him, I was like 15. And so he goes, yeah, come out to the airport in Mankato. He said he based his Learjet out there, and he was going to take family back home to Aspen. So he was leaving the one day, and he said, just come out and, meet John before he takes off to go home. And I'm like, like freaking out going, yeah, he's saying it nonchalantly like, well, it's no big deal. And I'm going, oh my God, I'm meeting my idol of the whole world. I'm going to meet my idol. And so then I met him again when I was 18. I did the same thing. I went out there and saw him off when he was leaving to go back home. And I got to go inside his Learjet, which was really cool.
That is awesome.
And I had aviation class when I was a senior in high school, and I painted a plane just like his. His was 5 different colors.
Wow.
Very unique. You could see it when he came in. You could see it, coming in. And I used to freak out. I used to have a horse out by Eagle Lake, right by the airport. And I'd be out riding, and I'd see him come in. Guess who's going to the airport?
Yeah. Wow. Very cool. So you had horses now?
Yeah, I'm a real cowgirl. Yep.
Is that part of the... Was just even the John Denver influence? Is that part? I mean, did you grow up basically in the city here?
Oh, I grew up between Mankato and Eagle Lake.
Oh, okay.
And then, so I am a country girl. But then my parents decided that they couldn't buy the property. It was a rental, and they wouldn't sell it to them.
Yeah.
So then my parents decided to move to Eagle Lake. And so they bought a house there. Okay. And then I bought my own ranch when I was 28. And I live out by Rapidan. And I bought a ranch out there. And I've got a little over 3 acres. And it's a horse farm.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
I don't have a horse right now because I'm on the road too much to be able to have any animals right now. But I'm into the Appaloosa breed, which I got started from John Denver as well.
Sure.
So he wrote a black and white Appaloosa horse on one of his album covers.
Okay.
So do you know anything about horses?
No.
Well, they're kind of like they're kind of a lot of them are solid on the front, and then they look like they got a can of white paint spilled on their butt. Sure. That's what my mom used to say.
Yeah. Okay. I can picture it in my head, yeah.
Otherwise, sometimes they're all white with spots all over, too, like a Dalmatian dog.
Mm-hmm.
They call that a leopard
cool.
Appaloosa.
Very pretty. Well, that's awesome. You really have done it.
I've had a lot of fun.
So, 2 years ago, you decide to go full-time.
Mm-hmm.
And you were just saying to us out there, you did 500 shows.
Last year I did, yes.
That's a lot of shows.
But I love it. I can never get enough. All of my musician friends around here locally and some that were even international, performers, told me they never did that many shows. They said, I don't know how you could do that.
I don't think anyone does that many shows.
No.
But I love it. I could probably do 5,000 and I would still be, I'd love it even more because I love people. So, and, I get to see different people every place I go.
Yeah.
So it's kind of fun. And then, once I've been there, they love me. So when I come back, they're all excited when I come back, and that makes you even more excited. Yeah. You guys are probably performers as well. You probably know how that goes, right?
Somewhat, yes.
When you get out there and everybody's really into what you're doing, how do you feel about that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it fuels you.
It gives you like one of these big, like bursts of energy, doesn't it?
Sure. Yes.
Especially if you do like a late show. Like I did, just for example, I did a private party last Tuesday. First, I did 2 shows in Maplewood, and then I did a private party at the State Fairgrounds. Well, it was a 25th anniversary party, right? There was like 100 people there. And I was so excited because I had met these people at my John Denver tribute thing that I did. I did the music when he got inducted into the Minnesota Music Hall of Fame last year. I did the music there. And so they met me there because one of the guys got inducted too with a group from the cities. So they said, oh, yeah, we got to get you for our party, you know. So, well, I went there and I was so fired up when I left. It's like I got home at about 10:30, 11 o'clock and I'm going, oh, yeah, like I'm going to go to bed now. You know, maybe like 3 o'clock, maybe I might go to bed. You know, I was so wired because when I do a late show, that's what happens.
Well, totally
you know,
happens.
and I was going to the tables singing songs for everybody, you know, whoever requested whatever. And,
Yeah.
and they all love John Denver. So, of course, I was like, ooh, you like John Denver, you know. So the minute they say that, I'm like, I'm right there, you know. I'm all
you're
ears.
in.
So.
Awesome. So let's talk about that a little bit. So you're obviously been making a living off of doing these shows. So, okay, you obviously must understand the limitations of what you're doing, right? But how big of shows do you actually...
Well, you know, I do a lot of senior living communities.
Okay.
And so those shows are like 45 minutes, right?
Okay.
But if I do like a private party, it's whatever they want. Usually I don't do anything much over like an hour and a half.
Sure.
Just because I have to spread my voice out.
Yeah.
You know how it is when you're singing all the time and all the time. So, you know, I don't do a lot of bar things or anything just because, number one, it's too long of a gig. Number two, I like people listening to me when they're listening to me sober so they can hear what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And they're not, you know, I like people to be focused on what I'm doing.
Well, and you're doing something a little bit more, I would say, intimate than what the bar setting needs. You
exactly.
know? I mean, maybe if you're in some small joint down south somewhere, that would work. But
And last year I did my John Denver tribute at the St. Peter Arts Center. And, man, we just had a turnout like crazy. There's only room for there's like 40 seats, I believe, in the place. We had 80 people show up to my show.
Yeah.
And it was so overwhelming. I mean, that was another late show that, of course, and it was John Denver, which made it twice as bad for me to go home and go to bed. You know?
Awesome.
It's like I don't think I went to bed till the next day.
So are you comfortable now with where you're at and what you're doing? Meaning, are you striving to get even bigger or to do
you know,
bigger shows?
I'm striving to do maybe more private stuff because I love private parties.
Yeah.
I love going to people's houses and just, you know, just
or
doing
whatever
what they want me to
function
do.
they want. Yeah.
Yeah, because those are, I don't know, just special to me. Mm-hmm. And they usually pay more too.
Yeah. Personal connection. Yeah. That's
so
cool.
that way I don't have to do as many.
Yeah.
You know, I can just do, you know, here, there, or whatever. But I love being my own boss. So that's definitely the best part about being self-employed is being your
And you got
own
the
boss.
sweet truck.
Did you guys see my
That's
truck?
an important deal.
We saw it parked out there, yeah.
Did you see it out there?
Parked out there, yeah.
You know what Winnie's like a horse?
No. Seriously.
Me and Chris were having fun with that earlier.
That's
we went to
awesome.
Aldi's today, and some guy was walking right down the middle of the lane, you know, wouldn't move, and we pulled in, and I said, well, I'll get him, and I put the horse hard off. And he laughed, and his mom laughed, and his sister laughed. They all turned around and went. I had a lady at Walmart one time tell me she left some stripes in her pants.
Oh, man. That's
Yikes.
awesome. No, I saw the truck online, and
you
I
did?
was
Okay.
like, we got to talk about this truck. So you must have gotten this truck just recently then even.
Actually, it's a 14.
Oh, really? Okay.
I've
And you
it
had
for-
it all decked out right
Yeah,
away?
I had a business wrap put on it because
Boom.
I've always had my trucks decked out, but I never actually tried the business wrap.
Yeah.
So this time I said, you know, I'm going to try business wrap. Let's see what we can come up with.
Yeah.
And I love it because it's actually glitter. If you see it in the
wow.
sun, it actually lights up like a Christmas tree.
Wow.
It's a very beautiful truck.
Cool.
That's
And
really
I'll see
cool.
people on the road, you know, and they'll be going,
Like, whoa.
you know, like, God, that is so bright, it's blinding me, you know, kind of thing. Or people go by and they go,
yeah.
you know, and it's like, watch where you're going.
Yeah.
You know, don't run into me.
Well, that's the point of the thing, I guess. So
Well, yeah,
get
they
their
definitely
attention.
know whose truck it is.
Yeah.
And a guy the other day, I had to have a fuel filter changed in it the other day, so I took it up to Fromm's Auto, and the guy goes, yeah, I'm coming out to get your 2014 Dodge Ram. I said, that's not a Dodge Ram. I said, that's a Cowgirl machine. And he just fell off his chair.
That's awesome.
That's what I call it when I first buy my. This is my 6th Dodge truck, by the way.
Okay.
And every time I get a new one, it's always the new Cowgirl machine. But this one I think I'll keep for a while because it's got the Eco Diesel in it.
Okay.
29 miles to the gallon yesterday
That's pretty good.
for a truck.
That's really
Yeah.
good.
Well, I
mean, that-
suppose if you're doing 500 shows a year,
I'm
you're
looking for
burning through
mileage.
these. Yeah.
Yeah, my other
Yeah.
trucks had Hemis in them, which I do love the Hemis as well. But this thing, you know,
Yeah.
is twice as much mileage.
Yep.
So
That's awesome.
I'm going all over the country. I want mileage. Yeah, I go to Minnesota, Iowa, South Dakota, and Georgia right now.
You do. You go all the way
Mm-hmm.
to Georgia. Wow.
Yeah, I did 7 shows when I was down there.
Wow. That's very cool.
Awesome.
See, in looking even on your site, sometimes I don't know that it's, maybe I wasn't looking in the right area, but I don't know that it was like that I realized that it was this far-reaching for you.
Yeah.
That it was that many shows.
Yeah. Well,
in this
you could probably find out more if you look on Facebook.
Sure, okay.
Because my Facebook page is Lisa Murphy and Singing Cowgirl. Will go through my schedules. I post my schedule every week of where I'm going to be, because I have people asking, where are you going to be? And unfortunately, I don't do a lot of things that are open to the public. So when I do, I really make an announcement.
Yeah.
I do some fairs. Last year I did more fairs than I'm doing this year, but I still am doing a few fairs. I'm at the Blue Earth County Fair this year for a couple-hour gig on a Friday night. So
cool.
But other than that, I don't do a whole lot of stuff that's open to the public right now.
Well,
You mentioned, branching out a little bit or trying to expand. Or are you considering maybe doing albums or releasing original
I have
stuff?
done a CD. Yeah, I did
Okay.
a CD. I have one out there. I really haven't had time. I've had a lot of people ask me if I'm going to do another one, but I really haven't had a lot of time to do that.
I suppose if
so my
you're-
focus
yeah.
right now was, taking the music to the full time. Well, it has been a lot of work for me because I do all my own bookings. So when I'm not performing, I'm working at home on bookings. And I'm looking for new ventures, or I'm looking for, there's so many possibilities. That's just it, because I can play to just about any crowd. I can do kids, I can do, teenagers, I can do adults, seniors. There's a lot of possibilities for me.
So it sounds like when you say full time, you're talking probably 16-hour days here, with trying to keep all this
Sometimes
stuff
it feels
straight. Yeah, that's incredible.
Yeah, no, it's amazing. It's totally amazing.
Well, we know you do a lot of John Denver stuff, but we noticed on your website you do, as you were mentioning, stuff for kids, or just basically any kind of age
Right.
group.
I'll
Or,
have the kids doing the hokey pokey, or
Sure.
which is really fun because these little kids can't figure out what right and left is. So I did that one time at a school thing. It was in Lakefield, Minnesota, and I didn't know what the situation was going to be, but they hired me for Grandparents' Day, and it was the whole school. Okay, and Lakefield's not a very big town, but there's a lot of students there, right? It goes from kindergarten to senior. So I get there, and I'm like, yeah, I'm going to be a real smart aleck. I'm going to have the kids do the hokey pokey. Well, half the school got up and did the hokey pokey. And I had about a half an inch of room, to move. And I was like going, oh my God, they're running me into the walls.
Yeah.
But it was hilarious. I mean, they all loved it. But
yeah, that'd be fun.
you gotta pick and choose where you're going to do that, though.
Yeah.
Well, I wish we could do it here. No one would be able to see it, but
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys want to do the hokey pokey?
Hilarious.
I think I'd be convinced that you guys knew right from left, though, right?
you'd be surprised.
Yeah. Dusty gets confused.
This looks complicated,
Yeah.
running this stuff, but not a lot of brains usually in this line of work.
But you guys are both in bands, too, or you both play?
We used to be a lot more active.
Oh, yeah?
But,
you have a kid, so that probably takes your time.
Yeah,
right?
big time. So I had sort of a similar deal. I got into guitaring young.
Oh, okay.
I was heavily influenced by Jimi Hendrix, and
Okay.
then ended up being Stevie Ray Vaughan, and I was like super, fanatic over Stevie Ray Vaughan. But he died too early in my life for me to ever try to meet
Okay.
him or go that route.
Sure.
But then through this radio show, Dusty and I hooked up, and Dusty plays bass, and then we started doing some things. But most notably, we would play every year on our anniversary shows, get something together.
Oh, yeah?
But it was always like last minute. Hey, we got to practice a little bit and throw some songs together. So yeah, we've definitely and we've both kind of had bands on our own before we met each other.
Oh,
and
you did?
stuff.
Okay. I was wondering
But
about that.
nowadays, it's nothing. I don't play almost at all.
I've been asked to play with bands over the years, but you know what? Making a career playing with a band, unless you're like right up at the top, you don't make a lot of cash with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't do it.
I do I get paid a lot better for what I do, the way I do it, than I would for being in any band.
Yeah, totally.
And not like I'm saying it wouldn't be fun to be in a band once in a while, but I don't know. I just like accompanying myself, and I'm such a ham bone. I like to steal the show, so.
Sure. It's the way to go.
At least I admit it, right?
Yeah.
I was born that way. I mean, I think I came out that way because I remember when I was 3 years old, I would stand in front of the TV and sing and dance for everybody. And you know what song was really hot back then? I never promised you a rose garden. That was the song I would sing for everybody.
Wow.
And I'd stand in front of the TV so that they couldn't see the TV and they had to watch me.
Yeah.
See? So the ham bone thing
crazy.
started a long time ago.
Yeah, wow. That's awesome. You were
Yeah.
born to do it.
I was born to boogie.
So,
Well, if you had to split it 4 or 5 ways, you'd have to play probably 1,000 shows.
Exactly. Well, yeah, no, more than that. Way more than that.
yeah.
If you want to eat, that is, right?
Yeah,
Like I tell everybody, they go, well, you must make really good money doing that. And I said, well, I make enough to feed myself. I said, look pretty healthy, don't it?
Yeah, it's good.
I like to make people laugh. Did you ever notice that?
I did notice.
Yeah, your show is. I love that. It's the music's there, but you got the chaps and
Yeah, and I have the interaction.
The interaction
I
with
go
the
right out in the
audience.
crowd when I do a show. Like when I do the Steele County Fair, I don't stand on the stage. I put a wireless system on. I go right out in the crowd. And I do different songs for different people, and they absolutely love it. I love embarrassing men, too, by the way. You're lucky you two aren't at my show right now. I'd be getting after you two big time.
Oh, we got to go to a show when she does a public show.
we kind of just embarrass ourselves.
That's what we do on the show, yeah.
No, I think it's fun. Chris, my friend that came with me, she's all wound up. She's like, well, what's this going to be like? I said, very low-key, nonchalant. I said, that's the way it is in Mankato, because I've done shows on KTOE and I've done shows on K-Check in New Prague, and, and everybody's really pretty low-key, I mean, it's like, okay, I can do this,
No big deal.
It makes it easier.
It makes it a lot easier, yeah.
Well, it's interesting with the John Denver thing, too. He kind of seems like he was John Denver, and then when you're hanging out with him, he's John Denver,
Yeah.
and, it isn't like some kind of
Right.
front that he put
He
out.
was a very, very down-to-earth, very giving kind of person. So, I don't think he had a stuck-up bone in his body. I mean, he, just for example, he didn't like to give his autograph because he said anybody can write a name. He said, come over here. He said, I want to put my arm around you. I want to get a picture. We'll get a picture. Mm-hmm. He didn't want to give his autograph to anybody.
Well,
Because that's very non-personal.
Yeah, it makes sense. And then you just go home and you got this thing with some scribble on it or whatever.
Yeah. No, instead I got to grab his butt.
There you go. Well, if you want
Much better.
if you want Ton's autograph, quote unquote, after the show,
He always offers me up.
He does.
Yeah, he offers me up. So should we hear another song, or what do you
Sure.
think?
How about if I take you back to the 50s?
I would love it.
All right. I'm going to dedicate this to you, too.
Beautiful. I can't wait. Yeah, do whatever you need to do there.
All right. Now, since you two aren't at a live performance of mine, I thought I would dedicate this to you while I'm here, because I know that you two are in this category. Do you know what category you two might be classified as?
Super hunks.
super hunks, yeah.
Super hunks.
Are you still howling at the girls?
Yeah. No, I'm
You're not? That's right. You're married. Are you married, Dustin?
No.
So you can still howl at the girls?
I'm chained to the porch. I guess I can.
He's chained to the porch. Okay. Well, you can still howl at
I can
them,
howl.
right?
I just
howl at
just got to stay on the
Because,
porch.
I think you two, you ain't nothing but two hound dogs.
Oh.
You ain't nothing but a hound dog, crying all the time. You ain't nothing but a hound dog, crying all the time. Well, you ain't never caught a rabbit and you ain't no friend of mine. When they said he was high class, that was just a lie. They said he was high class, that was just a lie. Well, you ain't never caught a rabbit and you ain't no friend of mine. I usually have the girls singing with me, but there's no girls here. You ain't nothing but a hound dog, crying all the time. You ain't nothing but a hound dog, crying all the time. Well, you ain't never caught a rabbit and you ain't no friend of mine. When they said he was high class, that was just a lie. They said he was high class, that was just a lie. Well, you ain't never caught a rabbit and you ain't no friend of mine.
Yeah. Ow.
There you go, Ton. I'm still
awesome.
a super hunk, but you're the hound dog.
That's all right.
He's a super hunk.
I'll take it. I'll take it. So now, would you say Elvis is another influence? Who else started influencing
Not
you?
really.
Not really.
No, the
But
only
you do
reason
it
I
'cause
like
it's popular.
The reason I do that is because I love to harass the men.
No. I bet.
And if you guys would see my show, you'd know just exactly where I'm sitting with that.
We gotta go.
Do you know what I
We
tell
gotta check it
people?
out.
I tell the guys at my show. I said, if anybody falls asleep at a Cowgirl show, I said, do you want to see what happens?
Ooh.
And they go, huh? And then I go sit on their lap.
Oh
And
man.
one guy didn't want to let me up one day,
Yeah.
guitar and all.
Oh, I
You gotta
bet.
be
He
careful
had a
with
bear
that.
hug on me from
Yikes.
hell. I was like, I gotta go.
Yeah. I gotta get up.
Called your bluff.
Yeah.
It was funny. It really
The bit's
was.
over, sir.
And you know, the whole audience is kind of going, are they going to let her get up so she can finish her show?
Yeah. Right. The whole place is uncomfortable.
They were on fire, yeah.
That's awesome. So, you have some originals. You put out a CD. How long ago was that?
2001.
Okay.
There's only one original song on there.
Okay.
It's an instrumental.
So is that something you'd like to practice, or what can I say?
No,
work
not
on?
really.
Not really.
I don't really have time to. And, you know, I used to write songs back in the John Denver day when I was, you know, all I thought about was him. Mm-hmm. But nobody would want to hear him because they were about his Learjet or about, you know,
Yeah,
they were
yeah.
all based on him.
Sure. Sure.
I'm not that they were bad, but I'm just saying, you know, nobody wants to hear that all the time, you know. So.
Do you ever think about it as far as? So I don't want to get too deep or anything, but as far as for you and yourself, or do you feel fully just accomplished and wonderful in what you're doing here, or do you ever get that yearning inside that you want some of that original material that is just 100% you?
No, I don't.
You don't know?
No.
I think it's awesome that you're just
I
comfortable
enjoy doing the
it.
variety that I do.
Yeah.
And, you know, like I said, I can cater to just about anybody.
Yeah.
Doing the children's songs or the 50s or, you know, I can bring a lot of memories back for the old folks. Like, you know, I may do Your Cheating Heart by Hank Williams.
Mm-hmm.
I could do Crazy by Patsy Cline. You know, just a lot of different things like that.
In all honesty, also that's probably the only way to go to really make money
Right.
at what you're doing anyway. Because a lot of times you run into that weird deal where you have originals and then you start, hey, would you like to hear these?
Right.
And then people kind of, and it's only other like musicians like us that are like, oh, you know, like,
Right. They like, you know,
I wanna
and
hear it and share it.
To tell you the honest truth, if somebody gives me a disc and it's all originals, I'm probably not going to be real interested in it either. Just because of where I'm at in life is not, you know, not saying that they're not good. I'm just saying that I just, I don't know, I prefer hearing things that are familiar and,
Yeah.
you know, I like the beats of songs and I like to change them up a little bit to my style once in a while. And,
Sure.
you know, so.
Cool.
Oh, I forgot to tell you guys that last October I was in Aspen, Colorado. It was the 20-year anniversary of his death. And I was playing with tribute artists all over the world.
Man.
Germany, Japan, Australia, China, New Zealand. Thank God they all sang in English.
Yeah.
And one night we did 3 hours of music without stopping, all John Denver. The next night we did 4 hours of music without stopping.
Wow.
And I took this guitar on an airplane. And it's so funny because this guitar had a better seat on the plane than I did. My guitar sat in first class, and I'm sitting with my knees to my chin. Now, what's wrong with that picture?
Wow.
Because I
That's
would not
crazy.
let him check it in.
Yeah.
This guitar is going to be 40 years old this year.
Oh, wow.
It's been everywhere with me, so
And it looks in great shape.
it's pretty good, but it's got its wear marks on it.
Yeah.
But I beat the crap out of it.
So that's awesome. How many people were there? Like, how many performers were there?
There, you know, I don't know the whole count, but I'm guessing there was probably 300-400 different people there.
Wow. And so, was there a time when all you guys were kind of playing together?
Yeah, we did. That's what we did. Was the 2 nights were.
Wow.
There was there wasn't all 200 of us, but I'm guessing there was probably 40 or 50 of us, and we all just played together. Yeah, everybody knew the songs, and we were all just playing guitars, and I was the only woman there for the first night.
Wow.
And the guys thought they were gonna, you know, like go above me or whatever. Yeah, you
Yeah.
just think so.
Wow.
You try calypso.
Yeah. That's pretty cool, though. That probably had to be a really amazing experience.
It was, you know, and I like I said, last time I was out there was for his funerals, and also after the funerals, you know, the next year they built a big sanctuary for him out there, and it's just beautiful. They have these huge rocks, and they inscripted the names of his songs and all the lyrics.
Wow.
To a lot of his songs are out there on these huge rocks. I mean, it's really cool.
Yeah, that is very
So
cool.
I wanted to see that too because I didn't get to see that.
So are you thinking to ever get out there yourself
Oh
one
yeah,
day?
I will again sometime.
I mean, have you ever thought about like living out there?
I did years ago.
Okay.
But my mom was still alive then. My mom
Yeah.
passed about 13 years ago, but her and I were best friends, so that I wouldn't make a move out there.
Yeah.
But and now I've got the music thing established here, so it would
Yeah.
be really tough to just pick up everything and leave.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, my hobby farm's been paid for like 20 years, so
Yeah. Then why do it? Yeah.
So yeah, I don't really want to care to really go and start over somewhere else again at this point. So, maybe when I'm retired and old, like 40 years from now.
Yeah.
Start thinking about it then.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Consider it.
One lady asked me one day, she goes, because I just turned 55 May 1st, and she goes, well, now you can retire. And I said, yeah, I could, but I said, I'm not going to.
Crazy.
No, I'm still having too much fun. So as long as people want to listen to me and enjoy what I do, that's what I want. I've got places calling me that, in fact, I had a call yesterday. A place in St. Paul wants me to play once a month there. So I'll be going to St. Paul at least once a month for.
Awesome.
You're actually doing it. That's awesome.
I've got 2 or 3 of those.
Steady gig.
Yep.
That's great.
And they got a grant, which is good.
Yeah.
Not a lot of places like that can get grants, so more power to them, right?
Sure. Well, we appreciate you fitting us in for a little bit here.
Yeah, I'd kind of like to get my marketing out there too a little bit if you guys can help me on that.
Yeah, if somebody else wants to hire you for something, or
they can go to singingcowgirl.com, my website, and they can also call me at 507-720-2995, and they can also go on my Facebook. Contact me on Facebook, Lisa Murphy or Singing Cowgirl. And, I'd love to do, like I said, the private parties. And people love it when I show up for a private party. I did 2 singing telegrams here just a few months ago. And, oh, my God, were those fun. You show up, and people look at you, and they're like,
Yeah.
really? What are you? Where did you come from?
They're
buy one of
freaked
those.
out.
And
for
I
a
did one
second.
at the hospital.
Did you
Lady
really?
worked at the hospital, and this lady that she's out of the country hired me to do this for her friend. And I show up, and I said, do you like country music? She goes, no. But her friend picked, of all things, Friends in Low Places.
Yeah.
And then she picked Ring of Fire. And then
Wow.
Happy Birthday. So I sang all the songs to her. And, oh, God, she just loved it. She cried.
Yeah.
People, they just don't know what to think once you get there. But after that, that's one of the most personal gifts that you can give somebody.
It is.
Is have somebody come up and do a song for you. And I did a number of years ago, I did Friends by Michael W. Smith for a couple people, too. Which was so much fun.
Did this woman just ask you if you could do a singing
She
telegram?
contacted me on my
Just-
website.
okay.
Yeah, she did.
Wow.
And she said...
Because do you advertise that you'll do singing telegrams?
Yeah, I do on Facebook.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
I've done that, and also the parties and whatever. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've done some of that. But
Wow.
she actually called me before I advertised that I did that, though.
That's cool. And just said, hey, would you do this? That's awesome.
Yeah, who wouldn't love a cowgirl coming to your house?
Yeah,
Right?
Yeah. Well,
exactly.
Ton's got a birthday coming up, so maybe.
There we go. We'll get it figured out. So what's you said you've got some shows here coming up. What's your next public show where people listening to this can actually go there and check you out?
I'm trying to think. It's probably going to be the Blue Earth County Fair.
Okay.
And it's that Friday of the fair. I don't remember if it's the 28th of July. I can't remember the exact date, but it's the Friday of the fair.
Okay.
I'll be there from 7 to 9.
It sounds like it's best to check your website or Facebook
Yeah,
probably
yeah,
every day.
absolutely.
It sounds like you're at
Yeah,
new
you can
stuff.
go and like I said, my website, you can actually listen to my CD on my website too.
Okay.
And then it tells the story on how I got started and how many. Right now I have 8 guitars.
8 guitars. That's pretty good.
8 guitars, a banjo, a mandolin, a fiddle, and a keyboard, and a partridge in a pear tree.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, I have a ton of instruments. My
So
whole
then
house is filled.
You might have me beat then. I think I have 7 guitars.
You have
right
7.
now. I have 7
I
guitars.
bet yours are all electric.
And then I have 1 acoustic.
Okay, I was
I
going
have
to say, I
one
bet yours
Fender
are all electric.
acoustic, but all of them are electric.
Okay.
And I got a bass, and I got a drum set, and I got a PA, I got a keyboard. I got
Wow.
a Yamaha keyboard.
He works in radio, so that's
And what do you have then?
I just
He's got nothing.
Don't you have a bass?
personality.
He's
and
got a bass, and I've fixed it.
Cheery
No,
several times.
disposition.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So how old are you guys? Just curious.
I'm going to be 38 in August.
Okay.
and I'm 36.
I was guessing you guys. When I saw your picture, I was guessing you'd be in your late 20s, early 30s.
Well, if you saw the picture online, that's highly inaccurate.
That was
anyway.
probably 20 years ago. Yeah. We
Well,
probably
no
were that
wonder I
age
was
when we took
guessing
that.
you.
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
You were right on when
I
that
showed it
picture
to
was
Chris.
taken.
We just came from Olive Garden. We were having dinner there. And I showed Chris and said, now you want to see these people that are doing this tonight? And I showed her and I said, how old do you think they are? And she said, oh, I think they're in their 30s. I said, yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah.
I said, because I was going to guess how old you guys were.
Yeah,
Just
no.
children. You guys are just children. You
No,
know,
we are.
just kids.
Well,
Still green behind the ears.
Well, it's hilarious because, I mean, it's all perspective. But
It is.
I look at that old picture and I'm like, oh my God, I was just ridiculous in those days. And then I think about it, and people still call me a kid like that, and in my mind,
yeah.
I'm like, I'm almost 40 years old. What the? And you start having a meltdown. Oh God, no.
So
That's
you just
why
have
they
one
say
child
that.
then?
Yeah,
Okay. You got a plan on having some more?
I don't know.
Yeah.
We talk about kids all the time, but
You might have to be the stay-home dad.
they're expensive. Well, if she was making enough money. But I actually work at the hospital.
You do?
Yeah, I work in IT for Mayo Clinic Health System.
Oh, okay.
So
Wow.
when you said that you were that you played,
Well, the
there,
lady
was
that
like,
I played
"God,
for
wish
was
I
actually in the audiology department.
okay. Yeah,
And I went in there, I had to go to that desk over there. And it's
Yeah.
so funny because people gathered around and they said, oh, are we going to have music in here today? And one guy said, he came up to me and he goes, well, I'll sing with you.
yeah.
And this other lady's going, God, she's hired to do a private thing here. We can't
Yeah.
be bugging her.
That's awesome.
And then one of my former dental patients was volunteering at the desk.
Oh wow.
And she said, my God, Lisa, what are you going to do? And I said, well, I'm here to do a singing telegram for this young lady.
That's
And
cool.
She came walking out, and I was trying to hide. Of course, how can you hide?
Yeah.
There wasn't any place to hide, really. And then she looked at me and she goes, is that for me? Yes, it is.
That's awesome. What? And she was in audiology.
She
Did you
worked in the audiology department. Yeah.
ask her make sure she could hear you okay, or
Yeah.
you make any hearing jokes?
I should have done that.
Yeah.
I should have done that. I never thought about that right away. No, because she was just like totally flipped out. I thought she was going to pass out.
Yeah.
I had her sit down because I actually thought she was going to pass out. I can read that. I'm a dental assistant. That's what I went to school for here.
Sure.
And I was looking at her and I thought, she's getting kind of pale looking and a little sweaty looking.
Yeah.
I said, I think she better sit down.
Just relax.
So she sat down and then I did it. And then, her color started to come back again. And I thought, oh, she's all right now, And then I asked her, I said, do you like country music? And she said, nope.
Nope.
I just thought that was so. Why would this lady tell me to do
Yeah.
these songs for her when she doesn't like country music? But she really enjoyed it, I guess.
Yeah.
She called her then. I guess the lady lives in Dubai, her friend.
Oh wow.
And so she called her then and said, "Oh my God, this is just like the best birthday present ever." And
That's cool.
I couldn't even get a hold of the lady that's in Dubai. I had to talk through her mother that's
Yeah.
in Mankato here.
Huh.
Okay. And the other one I did was a singing Valentine up at. It was at Oaklawn.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep, I did.
Those have to be fun. Any of that stuff where you're right personal,
Yep.
with that person.
I had to do a love song for her from her husband.
Oh,
so
yeah.
she goes, I'm going to kill him when I get home. I said, no, you can't kill him. I said, this was a good thing.
Yeah.
And then there was a lady standing taking pictures of us, and she kept looking at her going, I'm going to kill you too. And then she
kill
goes, I didn't have anything to do with
Yeah,
this.
what the heck? Oh, man.
It was a blast.
Yeah.
And then I had to go to a gig after that. This was like 8:30 in the morning. I had to sing. And I don't
wow.
know if you guys know what it's like trying to sing at 8:30 in the morning. But
No way.
it can be kind of tough.
Yeah.
But I was good, because I think he might have chosen a Johnny Cash song, so I could sing really low then, because it was early in the morning. Worked out good for that.
Yeah, that's great.
I could have way too much fun with
And
you
then-
guys.
It's been awesome having you on.
Thank you.
It's been really good.
It's been fun, guys.
I like the music.
Maybe we can do it again sometime.
It's
Sure.
I will say it just so for anyone listening, if you're reading about it online or on, it doesn't sound like this ever happens, but if you at all have any kind of preconceived notions about this woman and what she's doing in her music, it's totally genuine and it's awesome. And go ahead and book her and support her. That's what I say.
Thank you.
You're
And our
welcome.
truck sounds like a horse. So,
And my
there's-
We
truck
gotta
sounds
hear
like a
that.
horse, yes.
We got to hear
There's
that.
It has 9 different animal noises. It plays 9 sirens, and it also does 50 ice cream truck songs.
Oh,
okay.
man.
Well, we're going to go out there right now.
Let's do it. I hope it's not raining. Let's do
All
it.
right. Thanks, Lisa.
Thank you.
Thanks.